In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. Welcome to AussieVerse Comics and Collectors, where we are discussing our top 5 Green Lanterns. And I am joined by Steve and Mark Grodd Watson. How are you, boys?
Very well, mate. Very excited, obviously. I dressed up for the occasion, so...
I have to admit, I really want to be able to wear this the whole time, but I can't see anything. So, no, I'm not. I'm taking that off. Loving that costume, Steve. That is absolutely unbelievable.
You were just wearing that during the day anyway, weren't you?
Great.
If you are new to the channel or you're just watching this, give it a like, subscribe. Why not? Check out our past content, because we are getting to our 400 subscriber giveaway. One lucky winner will be getting a $100 Amazon gift card. And you can also check us out on Instagram at AussieVerse_comics_collectors, where you can also check out our graphic designer that does all of our thumbnails and editing, and that is A51 Designs. So enough of the loving. Let's get down to enough of the plugging. Let's get down to the loving. Let's get down to the list. All right. Number 5, Steve, who is your 5th favourite Green Lantern?
Look, this was a really interesting thing to go through, considering how many there are. So my number 5, I actually went with someone who has their own weather system. Basically sustains life and all that sort of stuff. I went for Mogo. I thought, a great selection in the top 5. Very, very powerful Green Lantern, and just a very, very cool concept of a whole planet actually representing in the corpse. So went for Mogo for number 5 for me.
Yep, good choice. Marcus Groddus Watsonus.
Number 5 for me. I like Green Lantern. I like all the characters and stuff like that. It's just not the massivest book that I always read, but I know the general and I read majority of it. So my ones are just the main ones, basically. So Kyle Rayner was going to be number 5 for me at the moment. Yep. So yeah, I haven't read too much of where he's the focus, so that's basically why. He hasn't really been the focus since the late 90s, early 2000s and something, isn't he? So,
well, some of the time, mate, he's obviously became a White Lantern for a while as well, and in the new Guardians run, everything was very, very cool. But we're here to talk about green, so yeah,
agree.
Yeah, it's funny because I never read Green Lantern before Jeff Johns, and I then read the entire Jeff Johns Green Lantern and became a massive fan. But then to contradict that, because of the other comics I was buying, I didn't really continue after Jeff Johns, and I've always wanted to. So I'm a little vanilla like yourself, mate, where my top 5 are going to be pretty basic, generic Green Lanterns. But I'll probably kick myself one day when, if I go back and revisit the Jeff Johns, there'll be characters that I've forgotten about. I do want to do a top 5 Lanterns one day, so it's not just green.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah, awesome. That'd be great.
My 5th favourite Green Lantern is John Stewart. And yeah, that's because John was the Green Lantern in all the animated episodes, and we got to love him through there. But unfortunately, he's only good enough to be number 5. Steve, number 4.
Number 4, mate. Well, I actually went for John Stewart for number 4. Love the character. Same as you, mate. I'm obviously a little bit older, but I really enjoyed watching all the Justice League Unlimited series and things, and I love the portrayal of John Stewart there. But I just like his whole attitude. He's very no-nonsense. His military background, all that sort of stuff, and the latest movie as well. The latest animated movie that DC did with him, and it's actually a really, really good film. So I really enjoyed that too. And I think he's a great character. So number 4 for me, John Stewart.
Nice.
Yeah, I've still got to watch that movie. I bought that, but still haven't seen it.
It's
Me
good
too. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Jessica Cruz. Basically, I've only sort of come across her in the Justice League Odyssey. So it's the space team. It has Who's it had? Cyborg,
Starfire.
a couple of other Dexters in it and stuff like that. So yeah, and she was in
yeah.
that. She's one of the main characters. So yeah, I enjoy her. I enjoy her personality. Still young, but smart, and I really reckon a cool costume as well, a cool design. And so yeah, Jessica Cruz comes in number 4.
I can't see. The other interesting thing with Jessica Cruz as well, mate, is her the issues that she has. She's agoraphobic, and she also has a lot of anxiety and stuff too, which is a really interesting concept for a Green Lantern who is focused on strong will and all that sort of stuff. I love that sort of dynamic that she has. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. She's got lots of layers to her. I wouldn't mind reading more stuff. I kind of hope that maybe they try a solo sort of title for her. I reckon that'll be an interesting read because there is plenty of story, I reckon, to go around with her and surrounded with her. So yeah.
Yep, good choice. I considered putting her on my list, to be honest. But yeah, so my number 4 is the Daxamite, Sodom Yat. I really enjoyed that character. He became Iron as well, if my memory serves me correctly. The embodiment of the Green Lantern.
Yeah, basically the what's the name for it? The entity.
Yeah. And I just loved his path that he took during all that Jeff Johns stuff, and he's just as powerful as Superman, out there. So yeah, I really dug that character. So yeah, number 4, Sodom. Yeah,
that's really cool. Excuse me. When you think about it, giving such a powerful being the most powerful weapon in the universe, it's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've only ever read that name, so it was a lot different in my head. You read things and then you don't actually know how to pronounce them. So yeah, that's the first time I've heard anybody actually say the name. So Sodom Yak, I'll remember that now when I keep reading Green Lantern.
Well, I could be wrong because you've got to remember you're talking to a guy that pronounces Kazar instead of Kazar. So I'm not the authority to pronounce names.
I'd say Sodom Yat as well, mate. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it just seems phonetically correct.
Yeah. All right. Next, number 3.
Number 3. Pretty easy one, I thought, for me. Kilowog.
Yeah.
Nice.
The way he teaches, the way he trains, how passionate he is. Might treat him really hard, but he's just a real protector as well. And I just love that whole character. And the one in the Green Lantern movie, I think it was portrayed. Was it Michael Clark Duncan who? Great selection. Just he really oozed the whole Kilowog thing, and I thought that character was done really well in the movie. And yeah, for me, Kilowog it just seems a natural choice to pick in definitely in the top 5 of any Green Lantern top 5 you might be doing.
Yeah, can't really disagree with you on that one.
Nah, and he's like the trainer too and stuff like that. He plays his own sort of part.
Yeah,
so, yeah, he's pretty. Cool. He's pretty cool. He's the brute. But all right. So my number 3 is Guy Gardner.
Nice.
Yeah. So I do love Guy Gardner. The only reason why I probably do have him low, because it's usually the character I really like, is when in team up books, the only knock that I have on him is that he's very one-dimensional. Like he'll just say he's like Bruiser sort of comment, and that's it. That's all he'll do. I want him to say more. I want more personality. But it's kind of like how you watch Everybody Loves Raymond, and the dad, the old man in that. How he always jokes about his wife. I mean, like it's funny for the first season, but after that, you just know it's coming, and it's like, okay, find something else. So it's the only reason. It sounds like I'm shitting on Guy Gardner here, which I'm not. I think it is the coolest costume of the Green Lantern. It's simple. I like the football background, and like I like his jokes. I like how he just likes to punch people instead of just using the ring. Yeah.
The costume's very sort of 80s, isn't it? With the flap on the jacket and the big ass boots and all that sort of stuff. But It's
I
just
love that.
really suits the character. Just really suits him.
Yeah. I'd love to find that jacket because I love it.
It'd be
A couple
pretty
of
cool.
cosplayers out there that have done it perfectly, and I'm just going, where did they get that? I want
Yeah.
to know.
My number 3 is Kyle Rayner. I'm, when it comes to these legacy characters, I'll tend to go with the original as the best, like with my Flash and things like that, because that's when I read them. But Kyle, I didn't really know that well until the Jeff Johns, and I really started to dig him. If I was going to be any, Green Lantern myself, I think I'd be a little more Kyle than any other Green Lantern. I like his artistic side and the way that he challenges himself and pushes himself. And yeah, I really dig him, and I think he's really cool.
Yeah, great call, mate. And his constructs, they're all artistic constructs. They're very, very cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we've got the top 2.
Top 2. All right, top 2. My number 2 is Sinestro.
Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating.
Now, what is it? Because I mean, he's been in a lot of different colours and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, yellow. I think from memory, and if I'm wrong, please someone correct me. I think he was the original White Lantern as well. After the Blackest Night, I think he was the first White Lantern.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I've got a feeling I'm actually right.
Yeah.
But just as a Green Lantern, demand and respect. He really was an enforcer of law. It's just that obviously, Yellow sort of crept in a little bit, and next thing we know what happened, he started his own corps, and there we go, all that sort of stuff. But just a really, really strong character. And again, going back to that movie, Mark Strong played an awesome role of Sinestro, and I would have loved to have seen how he could have developed that further. Obviously at the end when he put the yellow ring on and just the expression on his face and how everything changed, I just think he would have done a really, really awesome job of Sinestro, but I don't think we'll ever get to see it again. But yeah, but for number 2 for me, Sinestro. Yep.
That bit is very. Was that sorry?
Sorry, I was just saying it is a big shame we never got a sequel, in my opinion.
Yeah. What I was going to say that bit at the end there where he does change it, like literally, you do get goosebumps. About the only time you get it in that movie.
Correct. Correct, mate.
But you do get him, and you're just like, oh, geez, I want to see that. And unfortunately, we didn't.
Yeah, just you just look at his face when he does it, and he just leans back and just goes, and sort of power. It's really cool. Very, very well done.
Feels the fear. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, feels the power.
Yeah. So my number 2, I'm going to go with probably the mainstreamer here. I'm going to go Hal Jordan at my number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. Obviously, most of us that'll be watching this know who Hal Jordan sort of is and what he's. I'm sure you two guys will have him too, so I'll let you talk a bit more about him. But yeah, I like Hal. He's a bit up and down sometimes. He's unpredictable. He's very hot-headed sometimes, or I just like him. I like the pilot background, the losing of his dad and stuff like that. So yeah, all cool.
Yeah, good call, mate. Good call.
Well, my number 2 is Guy Gardner. I love Guy. I've always loved Guy, and it goes back to when I first started reading comics, The Death of Superman. I didn't know who Guy Gardner was, and I'm a 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid reading this Death of Superman, and here is this character that I've never read before that's giving such attitude to Superman, and I just thought it was brilliant. You got this guy that's meant to be a superhero, that's meant to be getting along with all of them, and he was the first one that I can remember. Again, I was brand new to comics that had an attitude problem, and would give Superman so much lip, and I know Batman does a little, but Batman and Superman deep down are best friends. But Guy was just like, screw you, Kryptonian, I'm Guy Gardner, and I do what I want. Man, I just love him. I love him.
Definitely got a lovable attitude that make you go, yeah, you tell him.
And he became a Red Lantern. It was brilliant,
Yeah, and he's just you look at the other Earth Lanterns, and he's just really, really, really different. And I think that's what a lot of the appeal is he's not, he's not like your John who's straight down the road sort of thing, Kyle who's creative, all that sort of stuff. He's just very, very much in your face. I think that's why he appeals to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd love to see him in a movie or something one day,
Yeah.
Well,
I hope someone nails him as well, like spot on.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see a comic book accurate one.
I think on one of the previous shows, guys, we actually talked about the series, and we don't know what's happening with that at the moment, but they have cast someone. It's Finn Whitrock or someone along those lines. I'll be honest with you, I know nothing about this bloke, but the first person they actually cast for the series was Guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, then there was Alan Scott, wasn't there? So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then Alan Scott after that, yeah. So they're the two cast. But we don't know what's happening in the series, obviously. So.
No more news for 2 more years.
Or ever, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't get it, mate. I don't get it at all. Green Lantern is one of the only characters in DC. Obviously, Batman's one of them as well. That you could just have their own universe. You don't need any other DC characters. It's just blows my mind how they haven't made a Green Lantern movies apart from Ryan Reynolds one, TV shows, anything.
Yeah, spot on. Because as you just said, they don't have to even mention anybody else. Like other movies are going, oh, how does this fit in? You don't even question it with Green Lantern. You go, well, this just be what it is. I mean, like you're out in space most of the time.
Yep.
And then to explain jack shit about the other characters, do you?
And the cartoon series proves that as well. Did you guys watch? You watched that, Steve?
The animated series was brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, the time has come.
Number 1.
Oh.
There you go, drum roll. All right, number 1 for me, the greatest of them all, Hal Jordan. My favourite. Love the character. As Mark's already touched on, I love his background in regards to dealing with the loss of his father. Just his whole attitude. He's cocky, he's brash, but he really gives a shit as well, although he doesn't like to show it. And he's just a great leader. He questions everything, doesn't always follow orders, but does what's best for the corps, unless, of course, you count the time when he actually wiped them all out after Coast City got blown up. But that's a whole nother story. But I just absolutely love the character. He is amazing. So for me, it was really, really easy to pick Hal at number 1.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep. I can't argue with that because I would have had probably Hal number 1 until about 6 months ago, and I'm reading that Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns Rob Vendetti series.
Yep.
So my number 1 is John Stewart because in that series, that's when John Stewart's really, and I've noticed in other books as well, really appealed to me. His leadership, he's like every other Lantern that we've mentioned, they've got layers. They've got things that they don't want to show. Like Hal Jordan, he gives a shit, but he wants people to know that he doesn't, even though deep down he does. John is just straight, narrow. Like he will just say it as it is. Like he's no bullshitting around. He's a really good leader for it, and he's smart, and he's just very opposing in the books that I've read recently. So John Stewart's really risen up in my ranks lately for what I've been reading. So I love him.
He's a great character, mate. And I've even heard a few people say that he's boring. I actually find the complete opposite. I find him really, really interesting, and he's a very deep character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agree. My number 1 is Hal Jordan too. He's the greatest Green Lantern. I don't think I need to really go on about it because you all probably know why. But Hal Jordan to me is the Green Lantern, and you can't take that away from him. To be able to go down the dark path that he went and to rise above it and come out stronger, that sells it for me. And Hal.
I mean, look at the Blackest Night, mate. He actually took his own life to come back as a Black Lantern to try and save the universe. I mean, if that's not giving up something, I don't know what is.
That is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. I've also done up the tallies, like on a best and fairest night or a Brownlow night of our votes. So this is officially between the 3 of us, the top 5. So thanks to Steve Sinestro is number 5. We got number 4 is Kyle Rayner. Number 3 is Guy Gardner. Number 2, John Stewart, and Hal Jordan, number 1. And
Nice.
quite a lot.
That's a pretty strong team.
Yeah, so out of 5 votes, like he got a 5, 5, and a 4. So he got 2 best ons and a second best on.
Awesome, mate. Cool, thanks for doing that.
Yeah, I thought it'll be officially. So officially, Hal Jordan is between our group is the best Green Lantern. Even though
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you would like to tell us your favourite Green Lanterns, please do. If there's Green Lanterns that you disagree with or you agree with, please let us know. I would love to hear what your top 5 Green Lanterns are, AussieVerse. So please let us know in the comments. Steve, thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us today. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, mate. Thank you for allowing me to talk about my favourite character. So really appreciate you having me on, guys. It's awesome.
Always welcome, mate. We will see you soon, Monday, for the live chats and more videos being uploaded. And before we go, we'll have a word from our awesome sponsor, Comx, where you can buy all Australian comics for one flat shipping rate. Go check out Comx and support Australian comics.
This show is sponsored by the Comx shop. Check out comx.cx for all things Comx and find out what Comx is all about. We hope you enjoyed the show.